There we go,
Hey.
Banner.
Hi, how are you?
I got bombarded by like 100 requests, and I'm like, oh, I can't find
It's okay, it's all good.
it. Thank you so much for joining us today. I know we had to reschedule you
Yeah,
from last week, but I'm so glad. So we're wrapping up Cobra Kai, our extended week with you right now.
nice. I'll take
Okay,
it. It's the
so
it's the best for last, right?
yeah, save the
Uh,
best for last. Okay. So I want to break down all of the incredible storylines that we had for Robbie this season. Incredible but sad. I want
yeah.
everyone to hug him and say, "Oh my God, somebody does love you." How hard has it been for you to kind of um go deep into this kid's feelings and all of the pain that he goes through as an actor?
It was interesting because I guess when we started getting the season three scripts, um, it just kept I kept reading them and I was like, is he ever gonna get a break? I was like, you're just tearing him down the entire season.
I
But
know.
it needed to happen, I guess, for storyline wise, and also too, I think it was good because everybody else was trying to get built back up, but it's good that there was at least one character that just keeps getting torn down. So it gives him a lot of places to go, which I'm very excited about. When we can see whenever that happens.
Well, how do you feel about the comparison between Robbie and Luke Skywalker?
Oh yeah. Yeah, I've seen a couple of those. I'm actually I actually love it. I love the comparison. I've actually not seen too many of the Star Wars, so don't hate me too much. But I'm very excited, and I like how everyone has kind of made that comparison. It's kind of cool to be compared to someone in movie history who's so like kind of iconic, and it's like, oh sure, yeah, I'll take being compared to that. I mean, that's such an iconic character in movie history, so I'm gonna take it.
That absolutely jumped out at me as I was watching,
Yeah.
across the season. I'm like, oh my God, he's Luke Skywalker. And I haven't watched really I know that I work for EW, but I'm more the Cobra Kai than the Star Wars person.
Mm.
But from what I know, I just kept saying, oh my God, he's like what they say about Luke Skywalker. So I thought that that was really a cool comparison. But I'm really hoping that for season 4, he has like this glow up. Something's got to happen. I still feel like Sensei Kreese is, really just there to piss off Johnny. I don't know what his feelings really are about, Tori or Robbie or really anyone. I feel like everybody just kind of serves a purpose for his end goal. What do you say about that?
Um, and that's the thing is, I guess season three did do a good job of finally getting into Kreese's backstory, of really giving him a heart. I feel like, he kind of, I mean, he's had heartbreak. He's had heartbreak. His mom was mentally ill, and with I would say probably the love of his life, you know, uh, dying as well. He's kind of closed himself off, and is focused on himself to really and just manipulate people to kind of have control, because I almost feel like he's not had control his entire life, which is an interesting way to look at it. Um, but here now I don't know what his end goal is. But I do think he is being manipulative. No matter who is joining, he's manipulating them to make sure he gets what he wants, because he's never had control in his life. And I think it's all about control. So that's the way I read into it, but maybe it's just maybe Marty has a different idea.
Well, I spoke to Marty during like my promos for the show, and he definitely says, to him, it's all about Johnny. It's all about Johnny, and these people are, just are playing their roles. I mean, does he really care? we don't really know for sure, but there's, you know, there's definitely some manipulation happening there.
It's a lot of manipulation. A
Yeah,
lot of manipulation all the time.
he's using these kids to kind of get Johnny to realize, is kind of what we talked about, to realize that he belongs as part of Cobra Kai.
Yeah.
So if he's thinking, well, I'm gonna train his kid and show him through his kid, you know, then maybe it's less damaging. But I don't think so. I just think he's like, whatever, you guys are just pawns, you know?
I don't I think we're definitely disposable to him. If we're going, then we'll just get another one and that's fine.
Right.
So it's a very hard a character to play in a sense because you have to go there, and I don't know how you go there specifically with, you know, kids, which is crazy. But hey, I'm glad I don't have to play that character.
Oh, there's Mary. Hold on. She was just with us an hour ago.
Oh yeah,
The one that got away is hilarious. Yeah. Yeah,
yeah,
that's his alley, basically.
yeah.
So yes, we just had Mary on here. We were talking about that love triangle between Miguel and Sam and Robbie, and how I feel like there's a fourth piece coming in here now with Tori. I feel like there's going to be like some kind of bond there. So let's dish about Robbie's love life.
Well, I feel it's interesting because I think before I've gone into the backstory of Robbie, I feel like he probably would have had you know, relationships in the past before we would have picked up in season one, specifically with his mom not being around and the guys he was around and most likely probably partying. Um, but now I think he really found a rock in his life with Sam. And I think that's why he's so upset specifically in season three because he's never had anything consistent and he found a father figure in Daniel. He's found someone who he can really get along with and spend, you know, his life with as of now. And Sam because she's a rock to him and I think he's just very upset about the whole Miguel thing, obviously. Um, Now, what will happen after? I don't know. In my opinion, I think Robbie probably needs to cool it a little bit and probably just relax and work on himself rather than trying to be in a relationship. But you know, we're in the show, we're teenagers and love is love and he might go back, he might not, we'll find out.
No, and I agree. I can't remember who it was. I had a conversation with one of your other castmates this weekend. We were saying I want to see Robbie with a therapist where he can kind of work out all this pain.
Yes.
He legit has people around him that love and support him, but things just never work out properly. And I just feel like, man, we just need to sit down with everybody, including Crease. I want to
Yeah.
see Crease in a therapy session where we can just kind of hash this all out because I don't want to see another Johnny and Daniel with Miguel and Robbie. Like Robbie has so much great potential, like aside, you know, even considering like everything that he's been through in his life, and he just kind of needs this opportunity to be like, okay, I need to sort all of this stuff out. I mean, do you agree?
Yeah, I mean that's the thing is first off, Johnny left when he was born. He's never had a dad. His mom has been in drugs and different relationships and alcohol, and she's not been there for him. So he's never had any parents. He's always been in the wrong crowd, and they've obviously not taught him the right way to do things at all. Uh, he thought he had a safe, you know, parental figure in his life, but
Mm.
he ended up, in Robbie's eyes, screwing him over. And then not only that, now the girl that he really likes, while he was in juvie, has made a connection back with her ex. So it's like he doesn't get a break. And he definitely has a lot of inner work to do. I don't know how he would go about it, because these therapy sessions I feel like would be hours long every single day, because no matter how strong he is or how strong anybody is, therapy does help a lot, and I think Robbie needs a bunch of it. So I could love to see Robbie in therapy, because I think there's a lot. He would be. He's definitely 16. I had this conversation. I don't quite know how old Robbie is. He's definitely 16, but in those 16 years of life, he's almost none of it's been that great. He has 16 years worth of stuff to work out. So it would be interesting to see if he could work that out. I'd love to see him work it out. But
Well, I think it sets up an interesting thing for season 4, because in season 3, I mean, literally every door was shut on him. So where could he go? He could go into like full baddie and follow Kreese, and like, you could win the All Valley and then, carry on on the dark side. Or there could be some sort of healing somewhere in between there. And I mean, who knows? The possibilities are endless. What you as the actor, what would you like to see happen for him?
we'll see, and that's the thing, is like there are the couple different ways you could go. He could be completely relentless, not care about anybody, and just jump into it, follow Kreese, and say, "This is where I want my life to go." Or he could work on himself and figure out what he wants in his life and where he wants his life to go, and work on those relationships. And in my opinion, as much fun as option one would be, I do think, given Robbie and his mindset, he is a very, very intelligent person. And I don't think he would fall into understanding where Kreese's life has gone and what he's had to live through. I obviously really don't think that Robbie's already been, my life has been terrible. I don't want it to continue to be like this, because I mean, Kreese's, I don't even know how old Kreese would be, but he's obviously not, he's not anywhere where I think Robbie wants himself to go. So I think option two is kind of the way Robbie would go in my mind, and I hope that's the way he goes. We'll have to wait and see. But either way, I'd be happy with it.
I want to talk about the snakes. I spoke in a little bit about the snakes. They're apparently real snakes.
Yeah.
Can you kind of talk about working on that scene, and did you hang out with the snakes?
Yeah. Yeah, we did. What was the snake's name? I can't think of the snake's name, but he was really, I don't know, he was a really nice snake. I don't have any problems with snakes. So when I read that scene, it didn't occur to me until I showed up on set that I would actually be holding the snake and putting him in the aquarium thing. Terrarium?
A tank, like a
Yeah, that's an easier word. Tank, inside the tank. Thank you. But no, it was fun. I actually talked to the snake handlers a lot. And they showed me how to, they said, with this specific snake, you don't have to do it, but they taught me a lot how to specifically hold, if it were to be a venomous snake, and how you would grab it and put it down and release it. And it was actually, it was a bunch of information that I didn't realize I was going to get, but I'm kind of happy I know it now. But I actually really like that scene, because I think I'm one of the only people that actually I am the only person that got to hold the snake. Which I think is kind of, it's kind of cool. So.
Okay. Were there any other favorite scenes for you, but across the series? I feel like this one was so sad. I mean, what are you gonna say? It was fun in jail.
Yeah, right.
From across all 3 seasons, what have been some of your favorite moments?
I think I actually really did like this season a lot, specifically all the fighting, because I feel like this fighting, even though the big school fight was it was dirty fighting. This felt just even more just like street fighting, and just was, it was gnarly. And I get the one favorite part of OK's in this. OK, OK plays Sean in season 3. He says kicking me in the face. Sorry, I just noticed that.
Oh,
But yeah, that was a good moment, kicking him in the face. But my other favorite moment too was there's a moment in the fight where I run up the wall and do the backflip off his shoulder. And I grew up I grew up dancing, and I also grew up doing gymnastics. So for me, when I was talking to the stunt coordinators, Hito Koto and Janelle Kerfman, they were like, "We're gonna put run up the wall and do backflip." They were like, "Can you do that?" I was like, "I can, but I've not done it in years." But we worked it, and I got to do it. So when you see it, that's actually me. And that was a very, very fun moment for me. And then also too, also in that fight at the very end where we get pinned to the ground, me and OK, and we're looking at each other, and I'm bleeding, and I have bruises, and I'm bleeding from my eye, and you just see like this devious smile. That was a big moment for me, because I feel like that was a really big change in Robbie's character, of noticing that sometimes being aggressive does work. And I think that was one of the big, obviously it was a win for him, and it was one of those big wins for him. Probably the only win within the season besides stealing the snake. So that was a very important turning point within season 3 for me, and specifically Robbie. The other one that I always mention to people is when I go to the LaRusso dealership in season 1, and I'm waxing on and waxing off.
mm-hmm.
And I got there that morning, and I realized I had to do it, but when I got to the car, I was like, I don't quite know how do you do this? And Ralph's like, "Here, step aside, I'll show you." And that was just like one of those out of body experiences,
Right.
where you're like, the Karate Kid is actually showing me how to correctly wax on and wax off right now, and a lot of people would probably pay for this experience. And I'm having to, and he's just like, "Here, let me show you. You got to do it. I'll show you." I was like, okay. So those are, one of the most memorable times for me. So
Was that like the defining moment when you were like, I'm in the Karate Kid universe?
yes, that was the defining moment of knowing, oh, oh, this is a thing. I understand. I understand now. Okay. Yeah.
So I grew up with the Karate Kid movies, growing up in the 80s. The first thing I thought of when I saw you is that you look ripped out of the 80s magazines, 80s magazines. I'm sure you've heard that a bunch of times. Did that help you get this role? Like, did the casting say, "Oh my God, you look like from that era"?
First off, yes, I have heard that a lot. I don't know what it is. I also, for some reason, a lot of the things I've been in have either been remakes or continuations, which is very odd, from the 80s or 90s, which is quite funny. But I don't know if it helped. It might have helped. I kind of, maybe it did, maybe it didn't. I don't know. I've never actually asked. That's a good question. Now when I see everybody again, I'm gonna have to ask them if that was a reason that I got cast.
I just mean like a part of it where they were like, "Oh my God, he was awesome, and look at him, he looks like out of Teen Pop magazine." Like, you have like this Jonathan Brandis thing going on, kind of.
Yeah, I've heard that one too.
It's definitely from us old people like me. I'm trying to see if there's any questions on here, since I'm hogging up all the time. It's mostly people just swooning over how adorable you are, your perfect teeth, and that they're in love with you. which is not bad to hear, I'm assuming.
No, well, thank you. Thank you, everybody.
Okay, I know that we can't really talk about season 4, but what are you hoping to see as a result? Well, actually, what happens at the All Valley competition? Because this, again, like we said before, these things can go either way. Do you think it'll come down again to the Robbie and Miguel?
Oh, see, so that's the thing is our creators and writers, Josh, John, and Hayden. I mean, I'm always surprised about what they come up with because they create tension so naturally throughout these characters. Um, in the first season made sense of, me coming in Miyagi-Do and Miguel being Cobra Kai, right? And okay, those are going to be the two guys that fight each other in the final fight. You could kind of see that from the beginning. But now we're 3 seasons into it, and we have so many more characters now.
Mm-hmm.
And so many more, like, just so many more developed characters, even characters that were in season 1 that they didn't say a single line. Now they're here and they're having entire scenes and we're learning about them and learning their backstory, which is incredible. But like now we're working in about who could be in the final. Of course, we're all going to compete in the tournament at some point. It's inevitable. We're in karate dojos. But who would actually be in the final fight? I I don't have a clue. Because honestly, it could be anybody. I really don't know. It could really, truly, honestly be anybody.
I want it to be Johnny and Crease, and I Crease shoes. That's what I want to see, so we can clear it all up, and Crease can go to therapy.
Hey, maybe it'll be like a Karate Kid 1 situation. Maybe the kids will fight in the arena, and then maybe Johnny and Kreese will have a fight in the parking lot or something.
Here in the comments, making eyes. He wants to be the final battle over here.
Oh, Gianni.
Yeah, yeah. He was with us on Monday. Okay, some behind the scenes scoop that I have to ask you about because I know a lot of you guys behind the scenes are pranksters and all kinds of things go on. But a little birdie told me that you and Jacob kind of had a behind the scenes battle and neither of you will dish who the winner was.
Yeah. So here's the thing.
There's no spoiler in there, so let's dish.
Here's the thing is me and Jacob. So Jacob started working with our stunt coordinator, Hiro, one of them, of working like BJJ, kind of grappling, floor grappling. And for me, I don't like grappling. If I'm gonna fight, I like to be on my feet. I don't want to be on the floor. Um, but I don't know what it was. It must have been my ego because I saw how I was like, nah, I can take him. So I started learning some stuff, and we basically almost after not every time, but there was a few times after training we would stay on the mats and then we would we would grapple and we would fight on the ground to see who could win. But I'll be honest. I'll give it to you since I'm the last one this week. Um, so after all the times of grappling and having our little sparring sessions, Jacob won every time.
What?
And yeah. So the thing with Jacob is he is a rock climber. And when you're on the floor grappling, a lot of it is about how hard you can hold and your grip strength and getting people into. He also has really long limbs. You can ask him. His wingspan is like long. It's something crazy. He's like a rock climber. He's built to rock climb. So his grip strength is he's got crazy grip strength. So when he gets you in a position, you can't get out. No matter how hard you try, you cannot get out. So yes, he did win, and I'll give him that because he's incredible. He's incredible on the floor, but I do think we never did it regular sparring standing up, but I think I can take him. I can take him if we're standing up, just not on the ground.
We need Robbie to learn that new move that like isolates the muscle.
Oh, yeah, that makes the paralyzes the muscles.
Yes, yes. See, if you learn that, then you'll be able to beat him.
Yes, that is true. I should oh, that's what I should have been doing. I should start learning
Oh,
pressure points. I should start learning pressure points.
we know that you beat Tanner. What he's here in the comments.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, yeah. It
Oh yeah, there he is. Yeah.
goes really fast. He must have been. He must have heard his name being mentioned. Like, let me make sure he's saying the truth.
Yeah, he felt it. Don't worry, Jacob. I told you you won.
Well, hopefully he didn't hear our strategy so that the next time you win.
Oh yeah, that's right. We got to keep that quiet now.
Yeah. Yeah. So I see a bunch of people wanting to know about your other projects. Are you working on anything else?
I just before the holidays I was shooting He's All That, which is a remake of She's All That.
Of course, you fit right.
Yeah. So yeah, exactly. 90s. There we go. Remake. And I was shooting that with Addison. She basically reprises Freddie Prinze Jr.'s role, and I reprise Rachel Lee Cook's role.
Oh,
It's swapped, yeah, and it's so basically she's the popular girl that has to turn the nerdier guy into the popular guy, and
wait,
that's
supposed to be the nerdy guy?
mm-hmm.
Hello, you're on the cover of Teen Bop magazine. No, well, you're a really good actor, so I guess.
Well, we made a lot of we made a lot of we went through a lot of makeup stuff to figure out what we could do to really kind of make a really, really big change. What is this light? Sorry. We did what? Hey now. So we worked a lot, and I worked a lot with the makeup team and the hair team, and the makeup and hair team did marvelous every single day to really make that change as big as possible. And the director, Mark Waters, was involved a lot, and we really did try to work hard to really make that big change. I will say, and I think I'm okay to say it, there was it's no glasses. We ended up not going with glasses because the big thing in the first one was she was wearing glasses, and then like they pulled them off and they're like, oh my God, right? So we stayed away from the glasses and just tried to make bigger changes physically in other areas. So I think it's gonna be a really, really good movie. I think fans of the original are going to be very happy with the way they remade it, but I think it's also going to introduce a lot of new generation to the old movie and the new movie, and I think a lot of people are going to like it. I think it's a really, really good movie. It's a really good story too.
When is that coming out? Do you know? This year?
I have not a clue actually. I should probably ask Jennifer, our producer, and find out, but I'm not for sure. But
maybe I would have missed it, or if it was even announced that it was going to just be here or something.
yeah, no, it's not. It's not been announced. Like I said, we just finished before the holidays, so I know they probably just started cutting some of it together. So we'll. I don't know. I bet I can find out in the next couple weeks, and then I'll just keep it to myself.
You'll have to inbox me on here and say, "Hey, Rosie, this is, but don't tell anybody."
Yeah, exactly. We could do that.
Awesome. Okay, Tanner, I want to thank you again for joining us. I know everyone's going to be disappointed that you're going now, but we ended up closing a super extended Cobra Kai week with you. So thank you so much for your time.
Okay.
And
Thank you.
hopefully we can talk more for season 4.
Yeah, that would be great. Whenever we find out more about what's going on and when it's going to come out or what we're going to do with it. So, but we'll definitely talk more.
Secrets. That's when I
Yeah.
want you. When, no, we have all of our imaginations running wild of what we can see, but I'm hoping that in the next season we can see a little happiness for Robbie somewhere.
Oh, I would love that. I would love that so much.
Yeah, for him to find his way a little bit. I think it's time.
It is time.
So much is working against him, but he needs kind of a little bit of a light. So I'm gonna predict Robbie will win All Valley.
Oh, thank you. That's something happy, right?
Yeah, that would be awesome. Then everybody's gonna be
right.
And I'm sorry, I love you. Thank you, Tanner. Thank you to everybody who joined us for all these fun Instagram lives, and hopefully we'll have so much more when we're closer to season 4.
Yeah, sounds good. Thanks, Rosie. Thanks, everybody.
Be safe.
All right, you too. Bye.